of the approach, play it onto the cycle, get it into the box, have numbers. That's exactly what they're doing. Not too many passes, but very economic, efficient in terms of how they want to approach the second half. That's how they got the goal.
Perhaps if Lungu had played a slightly fiercer ball into the box, Chandra Campbell was arriving unmarked. He's a player that has really seen precious little of it over the course of this match. Kept alive by Gaston Serino. Launch, moves it on to Mokoena. Space here for Timber Zwane. Still Zwane continues on, gets it back. Allende. Lunga. And Serino. Zungu. And he's tried that a couple of times today, flicking it over the top of the defense. That wasn't his best.
It comes with confidence. I can see what he's trying to do, because at this stage, Supersport seems to have paid attention to the danger that Sundowns poses when they come on the overload on the left and they switch it onto the right-hand side. But you have a Zwane that continues to go around fishing.
Chandra Campbell tumbles down on the edge of the area.
This presents an opportunity.
Yeah, big one.
For a team that has history in terms of good headers of the ball.
Yeah, the pursed lips of Relani Mokoena tell a story. Well, we know it's been 41 games since they've lost in the league. 37 of those have been overseen by Relani Mokoena as sole head coach of Mamelodi Sundowns. There's another look at that foul.
Well, part of the game plan is always to pay attention to these sort of situations, which get them into some problems.
So, set piece routine maybe doesn't go quite to plan. Gran Mahaman lashes it straight into Sundowns player Chandra Campbell. He's lifted it in behind. That runs away from Mahaman.
Wasted opportunity. Yeah. The second chance to conjure something still.
Great debut season so far for the youngster Chandra Campbell. Timokosi Lodge. Here's Timber Zwane. 21st time he's appearing in his capital city derby in the league. His first appearing in the Zwane derby back in 2011. Lunga. His cross is not particularly well dealt with by Supersport United. Eventually hoisted clear by Kampani Lungu. And outside of your picture, Teboho Mokoena with a rather robust challenge. We'll see his name taken.
When you feed yourself, that's what you get yourself into.
I do feel like changes that Mokoena is bound to make in the very near future. Yeah, just as we say that, and here's a look at the bench. And they are preparing some players to come on, but the depth of the bench of Mamelodi Sundowns is frightening, and it could change the complexion of this game. Sipho Mbule, who we always knew didn't have the full 90 minutes in his tank because he's a little ill at the moment, as Lorch finds himself offside. Peter Shalolile looks like he's being prepared as well, and Tashik Matthews, who came off the bench against Chipper to score his first for Mamelodi Sundowns, looks as though he's going to come on for fourth sub appearance since joining.
Good call. Definitely offside. And because Lorch, the conveyor belt of talent that's coming from Supersport joining Sundowns. Look at the sub that's about to happen. There's always a touch of Supersport coming through. Tempo is dropped a bit in the second half, but quite fiery compared to the first half. It's more paying attention to the details now. Both teams trying to pull from the back. Supersport, on the other hand, will try and stick to their game plan. Congested midfield.
Zwane. Themba Zwane is amongst the leading scorers in this particular tie in all competitions. 6 goals, level with the late Bennett Masingo, who scored his half dozen back in the early 90s. Zwane behind only Daniel Modal in terms of goals in this Pretoria derby. Escavil's corner.
You're absolutely right when you talk about the talent that they have. The bench is quite strong.
Oh, that's rather bizarre from Washington Arubi. Perhaps the lights were in his eyes, and he's getting a dressing down from his captain.
Well,
inexplicably punching it.
Well, not even the captain. I think about the entire back four. He had ample time there.
What is that?
Thinking.
And you're palming it right there, punching it right to a top scoring active player in this particular tie. Themba Zwane is on the ball now. Given away by Zungu for Tukamanja. Turned on to Grand Machaman. He's lifted in a ball. That should be retrieved here by Ndlovu, and is Lalake. Still Lake continues on. Man who was playing in his third Tony derby for Supersport United. His first 2 appearances coming almost a decade and a half ago. That is Lake's ball in. Chandra Campbell has to let it run. And that will mean now, with just over 20 minutes to go, that Mamelodi Sundowns can implement this triple change with Tashrik Morris, player who left our shores long ago from the vaunted Dikamba Academy and moved on to Borussia Dortmund before spells in Holland, and then more recently in the Allsvenskan in Sweden, is coming on. And Peter Shalolile also making his way onto the park. Ramadan Kareem to all our Muslim viewers, as well as Peter Shalolile, who broke his fast just before this game. Sipho Mbule is the other player that comes on.
the depth of talent that Sundowns have. It also puts you under pressure when you get given the opportunity to be in the starting lineup or come in as a sub.
Yep. The changes as well for Supersport United. Campbell and Matodzi are off. And we've seen the introduction here of Tabang Mahlangu and Hape Moralo. Escabir competing with Bilal Baloy, who does well.
Strong ball, boy, Bilal. Wakabalu.
Ricochet behind. And it will be a Supersport goal kick.
I think the tempo in the second half has actually dropped. The flow and the speed at which the second half was played, the first half was played, it's completely different. Understandably so, because now it's trying to manage the energy levels and pounce at the right moment.
Moralo getting a touch, finding Mahaman. Panilungu losing out. And then looking to win it back off of Sipho Mbule. Referee has let play continue. Finally blows the whistle in favor of Mamelodi Sundowns.
Well, that was one of those situations where the referee said, I'll leave it to you boys, keep your matches out and let's see what's going to happen.
Tashrik Matthews. The skies pass for Allende, can only toe poke it. Wide of the mark, raised the side netting as it flew wide.
I think the good thing for me is the fact that he realizes that he's against time and the angle is pretty awkward. So just needed first time.
Shlangu, the 18-year-old, can't bring that under his control. Escabir. About a quarter hour of regulation time remaining here. Mamelodi Sundowns come into this match with 45 points from 17 games, which is a record after that many games played. Last season, after 17, they were on an 11-match winning streak that actually just beaten Supersport United. They had 43 points. They were 14 clear of Richards Bay, who were in second place at that particular stage, of Peter Shalaline. Just trying to watch it drop over his shoulder, and it's bounced away from him.
He makes a good run, but I guess at the end of the day, because those played just over, it's a question of positioning himself as he can. He just bounces in front of him.
I think Mamelodi Sundowns will be fairly happy with their CAF Champions League draw. Finished top of Group A, 13 points, not quite as impressive as the tallies they've managed in the last couple of seasons, but for the fifth successive campaign, they have topped their Champions League group. And the quarterfinal date of Young Africans coming up. Esquivel can't squeeze it through. Lunga dispossessed by Ime Okon. What a rise to prominence for Ime Okon this season. Recruited from Randburg FC and moved swiftly through the reserves and into the first team ranks. By the way, the other quarterfinals in the CAF Champions League, Esperance will be playing Isaac Mimosas, TP Mazembe against Petro de Luanda, and Simba will be taking on Alakli. A slightly different complexion to the quarterfinals than we've seen over the last few years. Some nice new faces in the mix as well.
The wheels of change are happening.
Yeah. Oh, now. Ronan Williams almost caught out. I apologize if you have your TV turned up loudly and you are picking up a very colorful language from Gavin Hunt on the sidelines. Every Supersport game should come with a disclaimer.
Listen, I think most of the game.
But Gavin in particular pulls no punches.
Well, I also think because he walks around. But trust me, there's just so many games where when you listen, let me look at his face.
Yeah.
Focused, passionate coach.
Yeah.
He loves winning, but he also like players who work hard. He knows it's going to be tough against a team such as Sundowns.
Indieta taking on some instructions from the man in the opposite dugout, that's Fulani Mokoena. Supersport currently winless in their last two DSTV Premiership matches on the road. They haven't gone 3 without a win away this season, 3 in a row. Esquivel puts the ball in towards Allende. Mbule. Allende. Nice pass for Bongani Zungu. Well cut out by Graham Machaman. Reading the situation. With the yellow shirts assembled on the edge of the area. Can't afford to give Teboho Mokoena any type of space to shoot, regardless of how far he may be out from goal. Now rolled into the path of Lunga. Patrick Matthews goes tumbling down. And Machaman stopped playing for a moment, and Sundowns get a corner out of the equation.
Is that what the assistant pointed out here in corner? Otherwise, he wasn't going to give it.
Watch how Machaman just ambling towards the ball and Sundowns to steal in. Rare lapse in concentration from him.
Supersport willing to sit back, absorb the pressure, get tight in the midfield for Sundowns to go wide and get them to try and attempt to bring in crosses. But I think they have the numbers pretty much switched on. The leadership of Tatuayo, but vocal at the back. Now with the big squad that Sundowns have, I can tell you there is no room for any player not to stay fit based on the amount of games that they have to play.
Yep. Lunga. Again tonight, we've had a match in which both of these teams net. This fixture in the PSL area is the only one where both teams have actually scored more than 50 goals each. This derby in the PSL area is produced at a rate, goals at a rate of about 2.5 goals per game. almost always entertaining. Sundowns continue to dominate the ball, continue to make tracks down this flank with Lunga. Washington Ruby has it. Under 10 minutes to go. Mamelodi Sundowns looking for their first double over Supersport since the 2019-20 season. Time is running out.
I can tell you that Divine Lunga is actually struggling in terms of fitness. I think he's cramping, but he's willing to soldier on. Not too sure he's going to be coming off.
And Lovo for Chukwamanja. Chukwamanja with the cross. Repelled by Zungu. Helped forward by Bilal Baloy. No one waiting. Rodman Williams hasn't had all too much to do other than pick the ball out of the net 35 or so minutes into this match. Having a wonderful season is the Sundowns goalkeeper. Came into this match with a save percentage of just under 90%. They made 25 saves from 28 shots faced. Now at the other end, Tashreeq Morris cuts inside, tries to bring the ball with him. In a tight space. Scoop to Mtonyelwa. Now Mokoena. Bilal Baloy. Again, he's the man on hand to clear. Terence Chukwamanja.
It's strange that in the second half we see more of Sundowns going forward and initiating attacks. Supersport willing to absorb the pressure. But that sniper approach in terms of making the run and stretching that defense is not there anymore. The Chukwamanja that has come on, so far they haven't been a threat to Sundowns defense. Supersport.
So, one Argentine makes way, Mateus Esquivel alongside Divine Lunga, and another comes on in the form of Junior Mendieta. Spiller Morena accompanies him onto the park. Mendieta making his 10th appearance in the league. It's the 7th time he's appeared off the bench. Man who was hitting the back of the net with regularity for Stellenbosch last season, but has just the one goal for Mamelodi Sundowns in this campaign. Came all the way back in August as they edged Richards Bay. First involvement for Morena. Ngani Zungu now. Mokoena to Mbule. Couldn't hold off Ndlovu. Zungu to Mokoena. Taboha Mokoena launches a speculative effort and holds up his hands in way of apology.
Well, when you believe in power and technique that we've scored such a beautiful goal, nothing wrong with that. Of course, he's being humble, he's apologizing to his teammates. It was too early for him to try and pull the trigger.
Some anxious faces there. Supersports are one of those teams that have an ability to steal it late. They've rescued so many points from losing positions this season. Wonderful skill there. The cross in, helped away by Morena with Mashandi Loke. Ismail Lekay, who first appeared in this particular derby in 2010. assisted the great Botswana international, Tutu Seluani, for an opening goal against Mamelodi Sundowns, although they went on to lose 2-1. Now Mahlangu shifts his feet well. Can't fire through a thicket of bodies here. Grant Mahaman has an opportunity to cross. He's heaved it into the box, and McKay manages to catch it and earn a corner. He caught the ball sweetly to score the equalizer against Amazulu in their previous match, Fidlal McKay. He's contributed well to the Supersport United cause this season. His assists tonight means he has 8 goal contributions, 4 goals and 4 assists in the DSTV Prem. There's the corner in. Mahlangu stretching for it. Peter Shalulile gets his head on it. Now the chase is on for Tashreeq Matthews. Put some pressure here on Washington and Ruby. The bounce is a little awkward. Peter Shalulile stole it in. Still Shalulile. Ball just runs away from him. Now the Peter Shalulile of last season would certainly have been sticking that away.
It's a question of confidence, sharpness as well.
Moren, Mokwena, Sipombule. Mokwena's ball in. It's a good-looking one. That's an excellent defensive header from Baloy.
Decisive. Again, good reading of the game because he could see the danger.
Mamelodi Sundowns with their 8th corner of the match. This one to be delivered in by Sipombule. Decent take, and Washington Arubi had to flap a glove at it. Tashreeq Matthews now. Allende. Mbule teasing Lungu. Still continued on until eventually he drove the ball beyond the byline.
They know him. They've shared the pitch. At some point.
There's another one who falls into that category of former Supersport players. All the way back to Ronwen Williams. Supersport United's last win in all competitions came just before Christmas. Washington Arubi grabs hold of it. That was a 3-0 win, 3-1 win rather, from behind against Orlando Pirates. They're currently 7 without a win in open play, although they did sneak past Cape Town City during that period on penalties in the Nedbank Cup. Always knew it was going to be a tough ask to get the full complement of points here against Mamelodi Sundowns. Right now they have 1 as things stand. Either side could snatch it. There is still time for that to become a reality. Tashreeq Matthews found on the edge of the area. Touch not quite tight enough.
I think he changed his mind. There's a point where about he would take first time in the next team, wanted to control it.
Mendieta. Gets the cross in. Tashreeq Matthews, the touch for Allende. Now Bule has skied it. Well, he illustrated his ability from distance. The scorcher he scored against Cape Town Spurs last year. That's not his best effort. Pinged sweetly off the boot, but
Yeah,
well off target.
It's way off target, but the young man I'm happy for gets the opportunity to be part of this good structure at Supersport Island.
So they're adding another defensive number to the mix here. Supersport United. Keegan Allen was at Solos for the first half of the campaign. He made his debut in that 1-1 draw against Stellenbosch, was dismissed late on. He's just served a 2-match ban there. He's now back in the team.
We're going route 1.
Here's Allen competing for that. He's been serving a domestic ban, so he has played the last 2 games of the CAF Confederation Cup. Sport United were eliminated. They played the last 2 games already knowing they were eliminated. And 20 seconds of additional time remains. Now Mahlangu. He's done really well and he wants the return here. He's up against Grant Kekana. Allen bursting into space. The teenager has opted to play it all the way back to Kampani Lungu. Now hoisted upfield for Dvukomanja. There's definitely spaces opening up for Supersport United here. Sundowns are looking for the win. Under a minute to go. Sipombule, Tashreeq Matthews. No way through. Morena. Mendieta lets it get away from him. One last chance potentially here. Ball threaded through for Mahlangu, who's offside. Just couldn't hold his run.
I'm not too sure what is that. Was it offside? Was the young man offside?
Oh, it's tight, but I think maybe his boot.
I don't think so.
Well, was practically the final moments of the game. The teenager that Gavin Hunt threw on could have gone clean through and won it for him, if not for the assistance flag. And his capital city rivals have to settle for a share of the spoils. The winless run continues for Supersport United. The unbeaten run continues for Mamelodi Sundowns. But I don't think either got the results that they would have craved, Brian.
Of course, if you're Sundowns, we have wanted to get maximum points. Supersport, obviously, always have a good posture against the Sundowns, particularly Gavin Hunt wants to win all the time, but it wasn't to be. They played to their game plan. They were not at full strength Supersport, but they were pretty much disciplined. For Sundowns, with the talent pool they have, they felt they could do it, but they were up against a well-structured team. And a couple of players did not come to the party on the Sundown side, particularly in the second half. But overall, Supersport will be happy. For Sundowns, it's more consolidation, I think, at this stage.
Now Mamelodi Sundowns have to settle for just a point. There was a period over the festive period where they were drawing games and they seem to have picked up from that, but an opportunity for them to reassess ahead of the Nedbank Cup now. And the Tshwane Derby, after a very fast start, ends 1-1 after 90 minutes.
Then the final score out in the nation's capital, and this is what it means for the DSTV Premiership ahead of the long break until we see these teams in action at the end of the month. Mamelodi Sundowns still unbeaten, still very much comfortable at the top of the standings, 13 points clear of second place Orlando Pirates. 24 of those 46 points have come at home for the defending champions. Supersport United once again miss out on a chance to go outright second, tied on points with the Buccaneers of Orlando. One of the bottom half of the standings, and a lot of narrative is going to be generated by those bottom two sides. Only 2 points separating Richards Bay in 15 from Cape Town Spurs. Looked dead and buried at the end of 2023. They are one of the form sides in the year 2024. Still alongside Pumuzo Manenje and Amanda Dlamini. Amanda, let me start with you. What do you make of the 90 minutes? It seemed as if Supersport United were hell-bent on matching, at the very least, Mamelodi Sundowns today.
Yeah, 100%. I thought Supersport really competed, especially in the crucial areas. I think defensively they remained compact.
Yeah.
And I think players like Mahaman, who we identified as key players, really worked their socks off. And maybe just the inclusion of Ndlovu coming in as maybe coming to add that little bit of impetus as an attacker, but really working hard in that midfield, disturbing some of the build-ups. But of course, I thought they could have pulled up the most biggest smash and grab of the season with that last chance towards the end of the game. But a missed opportunity for them. But I'm sure they'll be happy for a point.
Without Lucas Ribeiro or Mamelodi Sundowns today, did they miss him in terms of those attacking areas?
I think in terms of quality, they did not really miss him because you still have a Shalulile sitting on the bench. You start a Champion Kosi Lodge, Escovel up top. You still have enough quality to be able to get those goals. It needed a moment of magic or a moment of quality from Tebogo Mokoena to open the scoring tonight. But I also thought that coming into the game, we always knew that if Supersport are to get a goal in this game, it will be via set play. And Bradley Grobler, one of our impact players tonight, getting goal number 9 in all competition. I thought it was 1-1 was a fair result for both teams.
Yeah, Bradley Grobler having to come off at halftime with that dislocated shoulder. Those are one of the talking points we'll be touching on when we come back from this short break. 1-1, the final score at Loftus, and it means that it is Supersport United alongside Orlando Pirates and Polokwane City, the only 3 sides to walk away with something positive from a visit to Mamelodi Sundowns.
Our fuel goes in mummy cars and yummy cars. It goes in cars that carry people and in cars that carry cars that carry cars. So no matter what you drive, ride or fly, we have the right fuel for you. Choose